Oh, what? Let's go. Is that real life, fellas? So full sets are hardly used in Diablo 2 Resurrected, but some of them are actually pretty darn good. That's why, to prove this fact, I went ahead and used the full Mavina set on a Freezing Arrow Boa just to show exactly how good they can be. Now here I am down in the Ancient Tunnels, absolutely smacking down some monsters. If you want to see how to fully make this character yourself, and it can be incredibly budget, I'll put a card up top and a link at the top of the description to a full build guide I did and build showcase. But as for the frequently asked questions on a video like this, I do these almost all exclusively on Players 3 difficulty, and I have 239% Magic Find. Now let's jump into slapping these monsters down and see what I find. So we'll start off with just a little drop before I even turn the run counter on, because it's right off the bat. It's just some Tranks gloves that would be really good like early on in ladder or something like that. So I just want to note it because I didn't even have the run counter on yet. And similar to that, I take out this little monster here, just run 6 here. Ballista, an absolute classic. The Berzia du Kayanyan, great with that 100% chance to pierce back in the day. Another little one that's really good to find kind of early on in the ladder. Here we got the Set Winged Helm. This is actually the G-Face, because with the G-Face you get a ton of crushing blow, good to throw on a melee character or like an Act 2 mercenary or something like that. But really awesome to note, I actually have this ethereal thresher I find, and lucky enough, I run the cube recipe on it and I get 4 open sockets. Perfect base for like an infinity or for a really good insight. This one is kind of sentimental to me, you could say, because back in the day when I first started a necromancer, didn't really know what I was doing, and I found this unique siege crossbow. It is the Pus Spitter, and it actually has 2 to necro skills. Not best in slot for a necromancer by any means, but back in the day I thought those 2 to skills was so nasty. But we'll move into some stuff that's a little bit more rare to find. Here's actually a Set Ward. Not always the best to use, obviously, but it is a pretty darn rare piece, actually. Now, we're just only 14 runs in, but this is when I get the first, like, really good item to find here. And it's actually a Grand Charm. It ends up being a skiller, as you might guess. But yeah, it's actually 1 to cold skills for the Sorceress. Very, very nice to get. We're just little old 19 runs in, and I get my first piece of unique jewelry here. It's a unique amulet. How good is it actually going to be? Let's see right here. It's actually an Atmos Scarab. This used to be used all the time on multi-shot boas. Not as much now, but still a cool piece to find. Now 34 runs in, and we kind of are finding a few kind of good pieces here and there, some interesting stuff. Nothing crazy yet. This is probably the rarest piece so far. This is a unique Aegis, but unfortunately it's not particularly useful. Hidden behind the name up there of the latest donor, Last Bulbasaur U Legend, but this is Medusa's Gaze. Now we're coming in just a couple runs later, and it's not a unique or anything like that. It's actually another one of those Grand Charms. Now that we pick it up, idea, and we actually get a 1 to shapeshifting for the Druid. Maybe these will have a little bit more value in the next season with that new rune word coming in. Maybe? Once again, getting a good charm here, but quite a bit later, I run 59. Can never get enough 7% magic find small charms. Lucky enough here, this one actually gets some lightning res on it as well. So I'm pretty darn happy about that, even though it's kind of low lightning res. Now, I don't show a lot of these, but this is a pretty darn good base, a 515 Archon plate. The max defense on a normal base would be 524. So this is a pretty darn good option either for Enigma or for something like a Treachery. Now here is the first jewel I'm going to show to you right here, and it's not a facet or anything, but it's a magic jewel. Kind of rolling with almost the max here with a 29 lightning res and the max of 6 to strength. So almost a double roll for max stuff on here, so one that I think is worth noting. This next drop is so crazy, I'm going to let my live reaction speak for itself. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Finally something. Something. It's been a little bit slow down in the Ancient Tunnels, but we get a half of a high rune at least, huh? Oh, what? Let's go. Is that real life, fellas? Oh, my mercenaries are getting ripped out here. I was like, I need to kill this other champion because I knew something was going to drop off that mother. Oh, let's go. That's crazy. A Gull and an Ohm rune popping off right next to each other. Let's go, baby. Iceman here to witness it too. The legend. How nasty is that? Wow, I don't know why. I had some feeling like I need to kill this other champion before I clip it because I knew something was going to drop off him. I knew it. Yeah, that was pretty crazy finding a Gull and an Olm right next to each other, but we keep moving on here, and I pull myself a unique Grand Charm right here, so I got a single player Sunder Charm. No, I'm just kidding. Of course, there's going to be a Geeds. Now, let's see how good it rolls. Ooh, 28. That's not a good roll, bro. Not a good roll. Now, we are coming fresh off a double Rune drop. Crazy enough, I actually get a double Grand Charm drop here that are both pretty darn good. Now, this one's going to be a little bit niche on the side, but if you got one of those Poison Sunder Charms online, hey, 27 Poison Res to make up for what you're missing from the Poison Sunder Charm, how that hurts you, with some 5 decks, which can help you out a little bit. And actually, out of the sparkly chest right over here, I go ahead and pop that, and I get another Grand Charm that's going to be good for any of those melee characters. You are looking at what is a 9 max damage with 62 attack rating and 34% gold find. That's going to be great for those gold find barbarians, I would say so myself. Now, I've been looking for a good base for a Flickering Flame for a while now. Now, this is not going to be the Obsession base I've been also looking for a while, but we take a look at these antlers, and it's not perfect, but man, I have not been finding great ones. Let me know if you've been finding some really good Flickering Flame bases, but this one's got at least 3 to Armageddon. It's got 1 to Volcano. To be honest, I could go Larzacate for 3 sockets, but I'm not sure if I'm going to. But this is the best base, probably till this point, I've found to make a Flickering Flame in. Now pulling an item, I believe for the first time here on single player for Diablo 2 Resurrected, this Conqueror's Crown. Crazy enough, it's ethereal too, so it's a pretty rare item, and it's even rarer to find it as ethereal. Maybe I'll plug that Zabrun into here that I found not long ago. Probably not a great use of it, but still pretty cool to find. So we're a lot of runs in, but I probably get one of the best bases I've ever found. It is a Colossus Volge, kind of a high strength requirement, but perfect 15% enhanced damage on the superior side. And look at the top end damage with no Rune Root in it yet. It's already at 284. Imagine plugging an Infinity or an Insight into that. It's going to be great. Now, just right around the corner, the very next pack in the same run, and boom, a unique swirling crystal, and darn close to finding a Shaco now as well. It is actually a rare Shaco, but obviously when people say a Shaco, they're talking about the Harlequin's Crest. But of course, that swirling crystal is going to be the Oculus, an absolute go-to and a classic for those sorceresses. I love finding an Oculus.